So hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna talk to you about the actual mistakes and lessons that I've learned in while failing my water fast. So my 3 weeks water fast, I actually failed, and I failed on the second week, and I'll tell you exactly why did that happen. Now, as you see in this first video of mine on the channel, I mentioned something. I mentioned actually the first mistake that I did, and that is that I'm gonna be doing for the next 3 weeks. Instead of us making the baby steps, what I did instead, I took a leap and I started from 3 weeks water fast instead of building up and starting from the small fast, such as like 1 day fast or 3 day fast and so on and so forth. So while it is good to dream big and things like that, but we also need to be realistic. Now myself, I'm being Taurus, and for me it's hard to understand what realistic means, and yet I now kind of getting the grasp of it. So even though I only failed on the second week, so I did the entire 7 days completely, and that only shows that if I would have chosen to do 3 days or to do 5 days or even the 1 week, so like a water fast, this water fast wouldn't have been a failure. Now, but instead I went all the way for 3 weeks, thinking that 1.5 week was enough to get prepared, and there I actually failed. Now, the second thing that actually got me into failing was I'm not gonna say my brother, but the second thing, it was temptation. Now, in this period of the UK lockdown and things like that, I was left alone in a huge house, and then my junior brother, he actually joined me, and he was the best company ever. He only left today in the morning, and so he was the best company ever, and yet he was also the biggest temptation of mine. Simply, he was not water fasting like I was, and he is, luckily, he's a very healthy guy. He eats very healthy and yet very delicious. So even the healthy food can be really, really tasty, and that was he eating every time. So now it is important to not to blame anyone else but yourself or myself, if it was still my decisions that I made to actually join him and share the plate. But it was actually, as you can see now in this picture here, where I'm showing the fridge, the second shelf should have been how the entire fridge would look like. But apart from that, we also had the first shelf, which was top shelf, and that was the actual cheat meals that we had. Now, the third thing that would be important would be that when you do something, it doesn't matter if it's fasting or if it's something else, if you're building some plans, maybe business or something like that. When you do something, first of all, don't give up upon your failures. That's one thing. Second, because what happens, failures are actually mistakes or lessons that we actually give ourselves, and that only makes us better and makes us smarter and things like that. Now, the second thing is, when you fail, try to fail as good as possible. And when I say as good as possible, the only things that I actually failed with was the actual bean meals, because my brother actually turned me into vegan, full vegan, so no meat for the last couple of months. So the only thing I cheated with was the actual bean meals and things like that, as well as the popcorn. Now the popcorn, nothing to do with the sweet popcorn or caramel popcorn or anything like this. Yes, it was not just a plain popcorn, but it was more like a healthy peanut butter popcorn. So it's still a failure, but it's a good failure. As well as the bean meals, those mostly consist of the proteins as well as the fibers, which is very good for your body. Now, it still made me fail my actual water fast, but I did not fail it in the way where I actually consumed like hundreds and hundreds of calories. So those three is very important things to know when you start to water fast. First of all, start small. Second, try and eliminate any temptation that you might have. And then the third, if you will fail, make sure you're not going to fail with ice cream or with chocolates and things like that. So that would be three things that I can tell you from what happened to me, and what you could take from this video as well. Now, what's next for me? Now today my brother has left, but I still have some of that food left, and I will try and do the intermittent water fasting. and I will see how that will go. I will do pretty much the ratio of 20 to 4 hours. So 20 hours I'll be fasting, and 4 hours I will be eating most probably just 2 meals. One meal will be the actual beans meal, and then at some point I might post the recipe for that, and then the green juice that I'm gonna also do the video on, because it's one of the really healthy things to include into your meal plan. So that's that. And if you have some questions or more advice that you need, what did you not hear from this video, please put those in the comment section below. Other than that, like the video if you did and you can't stop yourself, and definitely subscribe to the channel, because there's a lot more videos coming out. There's a lot more content, a lot more different content to compare to this one. And other than that, stay blessed and stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.